We're live.
Hello, Weekend Warriors. Welcome to the Weekend Dojo with Proton Reviews and Fan Edits. And
El Chizo Reviews, what's up, Bugheads?
tonight we will be talking about comic books of all variations.
So why don't we start really quick with what our favorite comic book is?
Sorry, I'm trying to pull up our channel so I can see the chat. My favorite comic book, well, the favorite that I've read is Watchmen. It has a very deep, compelling story, and hold on, my glasses are fogging up, and it's very mature. I like the just the plot twisting aspects of it that constantly go throughout the novelization, or I mean graphic novelization. That's my favorite I've read, like in a full graphic novel format. And I think that's how it was released, wasn't it? Like, it wasn't released in issues, wasn't it? Like, released as a graphic novel.
I think it was, or at least a group of graphic novels that were released, I think, yearly? I could be wrong. I could be actually very wrong about that, but that's how I remember it.
Okay.
My favorite comic book is Transformers More Than Meets the Eye by IDW Publishing.
When was that made?
It's actually kind of in a current canon. It ran a few years back, only by a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of fell into the Combiner Wars story, and into Return of the Titan Masters.
What generation is this focused on?
Well, it's canon with Generation 1 in a way, but it also sort of combines all the other stories into it.
So is the look of it Gen 1 then?
Actually, it's got its own style, really. But you can tell which character is which, because they are drawn in accordance to their original forms.
So, like, Optimus Prime is a diesel truck?
Yes, he is.
The 80s one that has the flat surface.
He's got the cab over Pete.
All right, and
sorry, it's not a Pete, it's a Kenworth.
And Starscream is still an F-14 Tomcat?
I believe so. Well, it really depends on which body he's in at that time.
I thought he was a 14 at the time.
Well, yeah, but it was like a weird one, and like the IDW Seekers kind of have their own look.
What were the name of the Jet twins, or the triplets that were looked like Starscream? They had the same Starscream mold.
Oh, dude, those are the Seekers.
The Seekers, okay.
There's you've got Skywarp, Thundercracker, Dirge. You've also got Sunstreaker, and there's several others.
I remember Thundercracker. But okay, so this comic book is still running, you said?
Well, it went from More Than Meets the Eye to Combiner Wars to Titans Return.
I heard that Titans Return, speaking of Titans Return, Power Ranger star Jason David Frank is voicing a Transformer.
Yes, I did read about that.
Is he a Decepticon or an Autobot?
I'm not sure. Oh, hello, Entertainers Warehouse.
Hello. I have to go to Weekend Dojo because I'm not getting notification yet. All right, there we are. Go to Weekend Dojo. Oh yeah, hello. Okay, as we're moving on, I might as well um, do a top 10 of comic books since we're talking about our favorite. If you were to go through your top 10 list of best comic books ever, what would be on your list?
Transformers, any of the Transformers IDW comics.
Mm-hmm.
Then by a short margin, Superman comics.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, I'd like to get into the some of the other Justice League or the other DC comics. You know, the standards like Flash and Green Lantern. Occasionally, I'll touch base and see what's going on in Wonder Woman's story.
Mm-hmm.
Then down the list a little bit more, I like the Dark Horse comics.
Oh yes, those are good. Star Wars, Indiana Jones. What else have they done? They've done Alien versus Predator. I love the Alien versus Predator comics by them.
Yep. Below them, I would put Image Comics.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, it's like your standard indie comics. I do love reading those.
Yeah.
And this is order. This is descending order, by the way.
Yeah.
Then, you know, just like web comics, Garfield, Peanuts.
Garfield, those are good. Oh, Dilbert.
Yep.
Do you get Office Humor?
Actually, above web comics, I want to put Asterix, the Gaul.
Mm-hmm. Do you read Dilbert comics?
Yeah, I think they're kind of funny.
My favorite was one that was a joke on livestock, where they were comparing office workers to livestock, and the big boss to a farmer. Do you remember that one?
Not particularly.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of them. I barely remember some of the Garfield comics, although I do love reading them.
Now, have you read any comedy-based comics?
Comedy-based comics. Popeye.
Who's your favorite Popeye character?
Wimpy.
Yes, yes, another Wimpy fan. Thank you. Wimpy is.
I would gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
You know what's funny? You know how graphic the original Popeye comics got?
Oh yeah.
They got not safe for work graphic.
Oh, at Jay's Warehouse, we are talking about comics.
Yes, we were talking about various comic books from various generations and so forth. Now we were talking about the Popeye comics. Now, what is the nicest way you could put it how graphic Popeye got?
The blood looked like raindrops, so it was okay?
Oh, it got worse than that. It wasn't just violence. It was some taboo stuff. I accidentally came across some old Popeye comics from like the 30s.
Mm-hmm.
They were not. Let's just say they would not be legally made today as a comic strip.
Yeah. Oh, Tintin was a good one.
Oh yeah. I watched the movie. I didn't read the comic, but I watched the movie.
There's actually a couple of comics. It's a really good series.
Mm-hmm. What about Dennis the Menace?
I have not read Dennis the Menace, unfortunately.
They still show them in the newspaper. You should read them. Because you know like how the newspaper has reruns of old comic strips?
True, but it's not in my paper.
You get Dilbert in your paper?
Yep.
Okay, that's good. Do you read the funnies still?
If I happen to come across a newspaper that somebody else has bought and is done with.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you at least have a favorite newspaper comic strip funny that you that is stuck in your head that you absolutely love?
It would have to be Peanuts.
What strip?
Oh, there's so many to choose from. Maybe Snoopy snoozing on his doghouse. Woodstock flies up and he does his little, you know, little chirping thing. And Snoopy just has to look and, you know, kind of wide-eyed and say, "Canaries have scary dreams."
Okay. I already told you mine. Mine's the Dilbert joke on livestock, comparing office workers and engineers to livestock. Because I found that dead funny. Because I know someone who's an office worker and engineer, and I've seen what cubicle life is like. It is the best comparison you can make is a pile of cows stuck in a room.
Oh, so what's your favorite comic book publisher?
Oh, DC.
I would have to go with IDW.
I have to read some of their stuff. I'm not. Oh yeah, DC and Boom, because Boom has gotten me into them with the Power Ranger comics.
Very fair.
Mm-hmm. Marvel's great too. It's funny. I have more Marvel than I have DC. I love Marvel, but I love them for more of a collector's based thing than a reading. Like I pride myself in collecting Marvel comics, but I don't really motivate to reading them. Like I haven't even read my Ultimate X-Men yet. I'm just proud to have them. And I got those for free. I'm not the only one who does that, am I? Where you just pride yourself in having it, but you don't read it.
There are some people who would get on your case, but I don't think it's a big deal.
Okay. I haven't found the time to read the Ultimate X-Men yet. I mean, I've read them a long time ago, like when they first came out, because I was that person, but I haven't went back and reread them since. Is that fair?
I guess that's fair. I mean, at least by buying it, you can say, "Hey, I own it. I have at least read it once."
Yeah. These aren't the copies I've read. I read them back when I would go into comic book stores and just hang out for a bit.
Yeah, that's a fun way to spend life.
Back when you could do that. I think you can still do that.
Yeah.
It's harder to do.
Well, you can still do that. It's just harder to find a comic book store that'll let you.
Yeah. Early 2000s was life, comic books.
As a matter of fact, the neighborhood that I spent my early childhood in had a comic book store called The Toys That Time Forgot.
That's a good name. What did they sell there other than comics? What type of toys? What Time Forgot?
Oh man, everything from like He-Man toys to.
No crap! You're serious, He-Man?
Yeah, not just He-Man toys, like artisan statues.
What about G.I. Joe?
They've got a few of those. Mint in box. The originals.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Kristen Torres says you got action figures, Power Rangers, the cool and awesome Hagger shirt of Spider-Man, and a hat of Wario. Yes, I do, and I'm doing great. How about you? All right, you were saying?
It's this amazing store. They've got like ancient Transformers. I got a GoBot from there once.
Do you still have the GoBot? I want to see it.
It's not in great condition.
I don't care. I want to see it.
Okay, but it looked ugly to begin with.
That's fine.
So
I love GoBot.
Time only made it worse.
I haven't seen a GoBot in 3 years. Please amuse me and the crowd.
All right. This, my friend, the waist joint of a combiner in the GoBots. I don't have the others.
Oh, that's cool. What does it turn into?
Well, I will show you. I did not expect to be doing a Transformers review today, but we'll do one. Wait. Keep in mind that I think it's supposed to be a flying machine, but I have no clue. This is just how you're supposed to transform it.
Right.
Do you have any clue what that is?
It looks like one of those like an alien version of a jet from like one of those military jets that has a turrets on the side.
Yeah, that's the only conclusion I can come up with. The thing's friggin' ugly.
Yeah, it is.
But I love it.
It's a cool GoBot. Definitely a cool GoBot.
I need to give this thing the shoe polish treatment, actually.
Now,
Picking up some of plastic.
You see my comics right here, right? You can see my comic?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Then I don't need to get them out. But like right here, I have the Web of Spider-Man, the whole Ultimate X-Men stacked up here with a few. I have some Civil War guides. Do you remember when they released the Oh, yep, and I have Power Rangers action figures up here. But do you remember when they released the Civil War guides back in 06? When Civil War came out, they had these little snippet guides that weren't a part of the comic, but they were like info things. I have those. I don't want to get it up because it'll ruin my display, but I have them.
Those look pretty cool, dude.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, let's go into DC Comics for a bit, shall we?
All right. Well,
let's talk about Superman. I want to go into Superman if you're up for that.
I'd love to go into Superman. He is my favorite superhero,
regardless
of my favorite comic book being the Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
So, if any of you watched our stream last night, you'll know why Superman isn't really the most dynamic character.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to be a reliable character, someone you always know will win.
Right.
Because he's designed to be a father figure. The perfect father figure is what he's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Superman is he's what he stands for is truth, justice, and the American way.
Well, not so much the American way anymore. He actually renounced that in right before the New 52.
Oh, he denounced it?
He renounced his American citizenship because every time he stood for a cause in another country, it reflected the entirety of America, and he didn't want to be responsible for that.
Oh, they acknowledge that. That's good. So the world way then.
Kinda.
Yeah. So what issue was this? Because I actually want to pick this up now and read it.
I only remember reading it at my library once before I could afford to get comics.
Oh, okay. What year? Do you remember what year this was? In 2012, 2013?
I think it would have had to just have been 2010.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know if it's canon anymore because
Of what was it? Rebirth.
well, New 52 then Rebirth.
Yeah. Oh, you can see my books. Cool. He says Chris Turris says he can see my I got a Power Rangers book, a comic book Batman, and that book of Harley Quinn, the book of the Joker. I have the characters guide, if that's what you're referring to. Yes. And my Power Rangers book is not up here. That's a Spider-Man book. But yes, oh yeah, this right here, this Power Rangers book right here. Yeah, I have that. I see what you're talking about now. But yeah, back to Superman.
He's kind of designed to be a comfort.
Mm-hmm. You want to explain to them in case they missed the stream last night why he's such a big impact on you?
Okay, so to go into why Superman is supposed to be the perfect father figure, I need to talk about who originally came up with him. Way back when comic books were still brand new, no one had done superheroes yet. But these two Jewish kids from the Bronx wanted to create a superhero and try to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
And the writer of the story, excuse me, he had lost his father in a bank robbery shooting. So he wanted to create a father figure that couldn't be killed by a bullet, who would always know the right thing to do because he knew, because he was brought up right in a good way and he was taught responsibility and to know what to do at all times. He was supposed to be the one who could always be right there when you need him, the fastest thing at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what he was designed to be. And for a larger chunk of my childhood, my dad wasn't around. It's not that my mom and he were angry at each other or anything. It didn't work out. 50%. That's how 50% of American marriages end, unfortunately. But I think it was for the best.
Mm-hmm.
And we're cool now. But for a large chunk of my childhood, the father figure I had was Superman.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's my favorite.
True that. Hold on. He's my favorite because growing up, he was the first superhero I've experienced. He was my two first superheroes were Spider-Man and Superman. Superman being the very first. Because my first movie I remember ever watching was Superman the movie with Christopher Reeves. And growing up, it helped me aspire to be a Boy Scout and earn the rank of Eagle because that's what he did. He was a Boy Scout in the comics, and it aspired me to become a better person.
It's a good reason.
And I always went back and forth between Batman and Superman, but Superman was always my favorite. I love the Tim Burton Batman movies. I think that's the only thing of Batman I enjoyed at the time. And Batman the Animated Series, but I didn't really care for the comics. But I always loved reading Superman. I always loved reading the Superman comics.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that were by Kids WB. The ones that were for the Kids WB TV show. Adventures.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the ones I mainly read. Were the ones that were like comics that were a part of the Adventures of Superman TV series.
Yeah, it is an interesting kind of thing, and obviously, with the success of Superman, the publisher who published it wanted another superhero to publish. So he called up this guy. At the time, he was Bob Kahn, but he took on the name Bob Kane very quickly after gaining success.
Yeah.
Hey, well, can I do it my way? And he said, I would love for you to do it your way. So we said, okay. This time he's not going to have powers.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a normal man, but he's going to be very rich and very powerful, because Bob didn't want to draw like himself at the time. He didn't want to draw this poor little guy, because no one wants to read about a poor little guy. He wanted to read about this fantastic rich person who takes on the world in vengeance of his parents.
Yeah. And thus, the Batman was born.
Yeah, well, originally he was going to be called the Bat-hyphenated Man.
Huh. Okay. Yes?
Can you help me find Family Guy?
I'm in the middle of doing something important right now, Kendall.
Sorry.
No, don't go on the screen, though, because I'm in the middle of doing this.
I need your help right now.
Can you occupy them while I help my sister, because she's not going to stop until I do so.
Sure, dude.
Nice glasses.
Thank you. Where was I? Ah, yes. So, like I said, Bob Kane drew who he wanted to be, and I think that was what a lot of comic book artists did. They drew who they wanted to be rather than who they were. And well, it did give us some memorable characters. I think it would really have impacted people had they drawn those poor little guys. So, but you know, I can't complain too much, because, like I said, it's astounding what they came up with. Of course, you know, I forget who it was. A PR agent came along at one point, a very outspoken feminist, self-proclaimed feminist at the time.
Oh, we're talking about Wonder Woman now?
No. It's a man. And he said that he didn't really care for, because all that was out at the time for superheroes was Superman and Batman. He said the world of superheroes and comic books was still a little too blood-curdlingly masculine, and it needed a touch of femininity. Feminine.
You know, there's more to the story of Wonder Woman than just a guy creating the character, right?
Well, yeah, but essentially, I don't really want to go into that, because that opens a whole can of worms.
Oh, you know the story.
You know the story.
It's hilarious, actually. Let's just leave it at she was a combination of two people or two women he was deeply in love with.
Yeah, essentially. And Wonder Woman was supposed to represent feminine power. She was a feminist symbol, and still is today. Or at least that's what she should be. However, I do believe that, okay, it might have had a good message behind it at the time, but looking back on it now, it really wasn't the right message.
No, it was
Wonder Woman's weakness was, well, being tied up by a man.
If you read the original the Wonder Woman comics, it looked like some sick bondage stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
kind of glad they retconned that. I'm really glad they retconned that.
Also, there's actually, we won't go into it. If you want to know about those details, there's a movie coming out called The Wonder Women that'll talk about all the creation of the character.
I also recommend watching The Secret Origin of Comic Books, and it's an amazing documentary.
And it talks about that also?
Yes.
The creation of Wonder Woman is something that I can't help but laugh at. I'm sorry. Hey, but it worked for him, I guess.
It worked, I think, for everyone because she's still well. I think they can. The issue I think is that as Wonder Woman progressed, her comic progressed, she represented feminine power less and more about where society wanted women to be.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
And that's kind of the downfall of the character, why it kind of fell into the background for a long time.
Yeah, and then did they revamp her, redo her story or something?
I believe they did.
Was she originally an Amazon?
She was originally an Amazonian, yes.
Okay. Huh. So all I know about the origin of Wonder Woman is it involved the creation involved some polysexual relationship. That's all I know about it. The origin.
Yeah, that's kind of the concept artist and the writer behind Wonder Woman did have sort of a mistress that was kind of the co-wife of the house. It's a whole thing that I don't know what to make of it. If that's his thing, that's his thing. If it worked for them, it worked for them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah, our favorite superhero is Superman. And writer that one of my favorite writers is Jack Kirby. He's done works for DC and Marvel, and I believe is there any other publishers he's done work for?
Not off the top of my head.
Stan Lee and Jack Kirby are definitely my top two favorites.
They are very interesting people. I will give them that.
Mm-hmm. Well, just the stories and contributions they've given. I don't know anything about them personally. Just what they've contributed.
Well, since people like Batman so much as it seems in the comics, who is your favorite Batman artist?
My favorite Batman artist. Didn't Jack Kirby do Batman a little bit?
I'm not sure.
Because I'm all right. Who did? Oh no, I know who my favorite Batman artist is. Frank Miller. Because he did. I only know a few Batman artists, by the way, but I know because he did the Dark Knight Returns. Absolutely compelling story, great visual artwork. There's nothing really bad I can say about it.
Fair enough. I have to say Tim Sales is my favorite.
What did he do?
Batman artist. He did a bunch of different stuff. There's one where he did where Arkham Asylum inmates had to take refuge on a prison island with normal inmates, and the social psychology of that, the sociology, I guess.
Oh, I think I've seen
he did some work.
Artwork. Oh, that's where I saw his artwork. They've recently released collectible figure arts of Tim Sales' art style Batman figures. It's like early 2000s, right?
He's done stuff on and off.
Okay. He did stuff for them like back when DC had that circle logo with the 4 stars.
Yep.
That was like early 2000s, late 90s.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's cool. Nice. Thanks for introducing that. I might want to go check out some of those books later.
Why don't we talk a little bit about what we've been reading lately?
Okay. What I've been reading lately, I just finished. I talked about this last night, but I just finished reading Rebirth, The Flash Rebirth. Basically, the premise is Barry Allen dies and is reborn or something like that, and he's getting back in his life and all that. And Eobard Thawne comes in to finish him off, and they go into a big fight. Flash has to go back into the Speed Force or something like that for a bit, and won't do it. So Superman's trying to get him to, or something like that. And they're doing a race. And then Eobard Thawne gets involved. And they fight Eobard and push him back into the Speed Force. But before that, he reveals to Barry that he killed his mother. If that makes sense.
That makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, Rebirth is a sort of a confusing comic.
Lately, I've been reading the Kiss comics, like Kiss Psycho Circus and
that's
Kiss Forever.
Oh yeah.
Now, I say what you will about Kiss. I like them. Been out of them.
Oh yeah, they're a good band. I love that band. I wanna rock and roll all night.
I actually don't like that song from them.
Why not?
Because that was a product of them trying to survive the disco era. Their real stuff, their old stuff, is nice and kind of heavy.
Okay.
As was what they had intended to be their last album, Carnival of Souls.
Mm-hmm.
Had some nice heavy guitar work, all drop D and just.
My favorite heavy metal band is Metallica.
Oh, if we're talking heavy metal, I would like a classic heavy metal. I would have to go with Black Sabbath.
That's a good one. Iron Man.
Oh, that was Ozzy was singing that one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Back to comics. What is your favorite age of comics? The Golden Age, Silver Age? What?
I would have to say the modern age, really. I mean, the Golden, the Silver Age, well, the Golden and the Bronze Age were cool, for sure. But I really like some of the modern age stuff that comes out.
Mm-hmm. Now, if there's any movie or so you want to see a graphic novel of, what would it be? Like any movie.
A movie that I would like to see a graphic novel of. If they could pull it off, I would love to see a graphic novel of Avatar.
That would be good. I mean, of the movie Avatar? The Blue People?
Yes.
Okay. That would be good. I like that movie. They're getting a sequel.
Yeah, they are.
I'd like to see a graphic novel of Stephen King's It.
Ooh, yeah.
By the way, I've not seen it yet, so I'm hoping once I've seen it, I will tell you. Be sure to see it also, so we can review it.
Absolutely. Actually, I kind of like the comic book series, or I want to get into it. I remember reading the first issue. The Gunslinger, Dark Tower, or Dark Tower, the Gunslinger.
I want to read that then. I wanted to see that movie. Was it good?
It's a book series, and the book series is amazingly good.
Okay, the Gunslinger and the Dark Tower.
The Dark Tower series, the Gunslinger.
Doesn't that like connect all the Stephen King books or something like that?
Well, it's weird.
Like the Pennywise it says like Pennywise's natural enemy is this giant flying space turtle. or something like that.
All I can say is keep your eyes open for the number 15 in there.
Number 15, is that what I'm looking for? That's a reference to it?
No. For some reason, the number 15 continues to pop up.
Okay. And this is a novel or a graphic novel?
It is a novel first and a comic book second.
Oh, okay. So I need to read the novel before I read the comics.
I would recommend it.
Okay, I will do that. Have you read it?
Like I said, I read the first book.
Okay.
And I made the mistake of reading one that out of order, and I got all confused and scared, and I haven't read it since.
Wait, there isn't it only one book?
No, it's a series.
It was a series of books?
No. The Dark Tower.
Oh, The Dark Tower. Okay. You got scared?
Well, it was a whole, I got confused because shit went down that I had so much had gone down. I'm like, I don't know if I can sit through all this.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Because I don't think The Dark Tower is a horror book, is it? It's like an action fantasy adventure.
Yeah, it's very much an action fantasy adventure.
Yeah, because Gunslinger's in it. But what I learned somewhere that in it there's a reference to Pennywise in it. They say that its natural born predator or natural enemy is a giant flying space turtle, which could be a reference to humanity originally thinking that Earth was a giant space turtle or something like that. Do you remember that? Remember the whole theory back in the old? You know about that theory?
Oh yeah, it's a part of a ancient religion.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, according to, did you know that its predator was a giant space turtle?
I did not.
Yeah, because he's from another dimension, because he's like the space turtle's the force of good, and Pennywise is the force of evil.
I guess.
Yeah, and
could also be Gamera.
That I made that joke. I actually made that joke.
But yeah, I really want to get into the Gunslinger because, like, I want to go back and start over and try again with it.
Yeah.
And I just don't know when I'll have the time.
Okay, I guess so. What about you know there's a series comics horror based stuff? Did you know there's a Freddy vs. Jason comic book series?
Yep.
Have you read it?
I read the first one. I couldn't
good?
find the other ones after that. It was very good.
Did it take place after the movie, or is the movie uncanon?
I think the first one kind of takes place after the movie.
Okay, so like after after Jason comes up with Freddy's head, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Dude, I know this is a little off topic, but I need to tell you this. I think I started a meme today.
Yeah?
You want to guess what it was?
Go ahead and tell me.
Pennywise, there's a scene that got leaked online from the It movie where Pennywise is just dancing. I put Gangnam Style over it. Because it's him doing this. He's doing the Oopa Gangnam Style thing. I'll have to show it to you right after the stream. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, check it out. It's hilarious. I'm hoping to start this as a meme. So if you could share this around, please do. But yeah, back to comics.
Yeah, back to comics.
Absolutely need to read. Have you read any of the Godzilla comics?
I have.
Okay, which ones have you read?
The manga actually, where they pick Godzilla.
Do you have it on you? I need to see what it looks like.
No, I was at a library. Like I said, couldn't always afford comics.
Lucky. At least your library has got some of the comics.
Oh, this was back when I lived in Ohio.
Hold on a second, my dad's calling me. Continue to... Yep.
Can you put this in a Christmas box upstairs, please?
Yeah.
Why are you dressed up like you're freezing?
Oh, it's... Hold on a second. We're talking about comic books tonight.
Wait, Kenny.
No.
Wait. I want to ask you something.
What?
It's the Legend of Zelda game.
Where? Yeah. Hey, that's where that went. Yeah, that is mine. Thanks. Thanks, Dad. I got my Legend of Zelda game. Hello? Hello? El Chisholm, you there? El Chisholm, you there? Well, it looks like I'll be entertaining you guys for a bit. If you got any questions for me, I will answer them gladly.
When you get done, I'm gonna tire or something else, you can go up there, okay? Actually,
What'd you say?
I'm gonna put this over with that box hit,
Uh-huh.
and both need to go upstairs at some point. Not
Yeah. Okay.
change. I don't know. Hey, why don't you find something else to watch? Find something else to watch.
Okay, guys, that's it for tonight. Chaz's PC overheated, so I'm gonna exit out now. Remember to subscribe to our channels if you're new. Comment below when this is in video format. Thank you all for watching, and have a more phenomenal night, everybody.